It takes a sec to get into the Facebook group.
Oh, I can't even go live on my. And we're live. Welcome to the Sassy Girls podcast, where we talk and promote amazing women leveraging tech in their business and learning how they are leveraging it so that you too can rock your business. So today we have, I'm your host as always, Colleen, the head nerd here at Nerdly. Today we have a special guest, Tracy Lynn Beavers, and I am so excited for her to be here. I have Tracy and I have been in a shared coaching group for quite some time. She's also super passionate about organic growth, and which is really important, because if you're not leveraging organic growth, how do you know you're having a real conversation?
Yeah.
Right. So Tracy, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Colleen. I'm excited to be here. I am Tracy Beavers. I'm a business and sales coach from Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm also a wife, a dog mom, and a mom to 2 young adults, which kind of blows my mind that I'm that old. And my forte in business and sales coaching is that I help online business owners who are feeling invisible in the online space. I'm sure your entire audience just said, me, I'm feeling invisible, because it's so crowded and loud. So I help you stop feeling invisible, break through the noise so that you can start growing your leads and your email list effortlessly every day. Business growth does not have to be a struggle. I always say that. And I am all about building with ease and simplicity, as I know you are too.
Absolutely. I don't want to have to do things multiple times, and I am the absolute best at over engineering things. And what's really great about it is then like breaking it down. Okay, why did we make it this way? What was the actual goal, and how do we break it back down?
Yeah. Love that.
So sorry. It has been getting back into the swing of doing the lives and everything. It's craziness. So
yes,
I know one of the big things people struggle with is just like the general overwhelm.
Yeah.
Right. Especially, I remember back when I was in corporate IT and I was like noodling with this idea of like, should I go work for myself? Like, this office is the lamest experience I've had.
Yes.
But man, everything that goes involved with growing a business and moving out of corporate and into your own business.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about like your journey of that transition and what you were able to, tips for the next person that's going to be going out and make that transition themselves.
Yeah. So I had to be really strategic. So a long story short, about 7 years ago, well, let me back up. I've had an over 20-year award-winning sales career, marketing, business development, sales. And along the way, people were always asking me, how are you gaining so much market share for these companies in such a short period of time? How are you growing these doubling these portfolios in 6 months? I mean, what's going on? So I've always thought that sales was easy for everybody because it was easy for me. Well, come to find out, it's not. And about 7 years ago, I was working for a company, and I knew, being in corporate, as you know, Colleen, you have no control over your time. It's 8 to 5. You get a 1-hour lunch. You get so much PTO, sick time, whatever. You have no say over that usually. But I knew having a commission structure, right? I could make as much money as I want. Well, apparently 100%.
Not. That's exactly why I was there. I was like, I just got to sell the stuff. Great. I'm going to go do that.
Yeah. Until you work for a CEO, and these are not the words that he said, but this is essentially what he said. He brought me over to work for his title insurance company because he knew my track record and they needed market share. I grew 86% the first year, the market share.
That's amazing.
The second year, we were on track to grow another 38-ish, 40-ish%. He actually had the nerve to say to me, I didn't think you'd be this successful. I'm going to change the commission structure. And I was like, okay. So he presented me with a new contract and I read it, and he did not know that I had a background in contracts from way back when I first got out of college and worked in the legal field. And I read it and I was like, this thing is so ambiguous. It was not going to defend, like, it was the worst contract in the history of contracts. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. I didn't say that to him right then, but in my mind, I was like, I'm out. I can't obviously, what I thought was, you can make as much money as you want is not true. So what I did was I did some reflecting, and some really good friends of mine were like, you need to take your gifts and talents and you need to work for yourself. And I was terrified because my dad was an architect, self-employed, and he made it look terrible. He made entrepreneurship look awful. And I was like, oh boy, I don't know if I want to do that either. So what I did was I decided to build alongside my corporate job. And I looked at all the expenses that I paid for our household, and my husband was on board. But what he said was, we're going to be fully funded in retirement in about 10 years. And I don't want to derail that. And I was like, agree. So there were some things that I had to maintain, but I went through all of the bills that I paid and I cut out everything that I did not need, because there was a lot of crap in there that I did not need. And then
stuff that finds its way into your budget and you're like,
yeah. I didn't need to get my nails done. I didn't need to get, you know what I mean? So I trimmed the fat. Then I knew what is the number I need to keep the lights on, to fulfill my obligations, to take care of the part of the house that I was taking care of. And so then I knew my number. What I was able to do was start building the business. And as the business started to grow, I was able to step down to different corporate roles that had less of me involved, eventually working remotely, eventually working for a boss that understood completely what I was doing. And she didn't care when I worked. She was like, if you get the work done and you produce, it was a godsend. She's like, if you produce, I don't care if you do your work for me between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. and then you go work your business and then you come back in and make sure everybody's happy in the afternoon. She's like, I don't care. Just get it done. I was like, super. So by the time that job ended, because they decided to close our office here in Little Rock, once again, corporate's not that stable. I was ready to go. I had put a bunch of money away in my business bank account. And my sweet husband was like, oh, okay, this is happening. He's like, well, let's see where you are in about 6 months. And he didn't mean it like it sounded, but I took it as a challenge. Like he had just thrown the gauntlet down, because I was over here going, oh yes, watch me, hold my drink. I can do this. And here I am. I mean, in my second full year of business, I blew past 6 figures, which blew my mind. But it was so exciting to know that I can make way more money now than I did in corporate. And, there is some time freedom, but there's also a lot of work involved. And I think that's something that people don't talk about when they come into the online space. They think it's going to be, chilling, watching Netflix on the couch and, things just happen to work.
100%. And especially, where I'm in my journey, right? Like the idea that I'm not doing the things that I do, like I am building a team, which also then means people management, people training, and like a very different level of communication skills.
Yeah. Right.
Not what I thought I was going to be getting into when I'm like, oh, I love playing on my computer. Let's go see what we can do and make this. Instead of a video game, it's a real money game.
Yeah.
So I love that. Right. And that people do not talk about I'd also say the emotional toll, emotional, mental, because when you're out there and it's all you, like, first off, like you're sharing so much of yourself with the general public. And you get so invested in your clients because you are working so closely with them, right? Like you're in the DMs, you're having conversations, and let's just be real. There's for every great entrepreneur, there's a couple of like, they lose their steam or something happens. And I was not prepared for the emotional toll that took of just like, you see the potential, you see the value they can provide, but then something happens and they fall off the trail. So
exactly. Yeah, it's tough. It is I say this all the time. It is a roller coaster. It is some days everybody wants to, I say this at the end of every podcast that I've got for my show. Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And like, wait a minute, like one day I'm like, yay. And the next day I'm like, holy crap. Okay. Woo. And
they're all going to find out. What?
Right.
Like it doesn't matter what they're going to find out. That is the most common thing I hear from every other entrepreneur. They're all going to find out. Like,
right. Find out what? That we're all human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I know.
So one of the things that makes it that's important to think about before you make that kind of transition is what you want to specialize in. Because especially when it comes to things like marketing and, marketing, coaching, and all this, there's so much. There's
Yes.
so much you can do. And just because you can do doesn't mean you should do.
Right.
So what made you specialize in organic visibility and list growth?
Yeah. So it was two major fails that caused me to pivot into this, which I see now as, okay, that was what was supposed to happen. So first course out of the gate, I'm launching it. I have no proof of concept. I had no business running paid ads. But yet I made the mistake that everybody else does when they're new and thinks, oh, paid ads are the silver bullet. It will solve all the problems of my funnel. No, it won't. And the person that I hired to help me with the paid ads should have known better. This is an example of somebody that was just ready to take my money. She should have said to me, Tracy, you do not have proof of concept. You do not have people buying this offer. You do not have your marketing messaging nailed down. You are going to throw away your money. Okay. Wasted thousands of dollars there. Then a couple years later, I thought, well, I'm a little stubborn. I might try this again. By this time, I had proof of concept. I had my marketing messaging nailed, and I had a different expert that was highly recommended help me. This time, I understood more about ads than I ever had. I felt confident about it. I had probably 200 or 300 people join my list from those ads. They didn't stick around. They didn't convert. Again, wasted thousands and thousands of dollars. So by this time, I probably total between the two experiences, wasted about $10,000. And I said to myself, okay, Tracy, you're highly educated. You are highly successful in corporate with sales and marketing, business development, being creative, thinking outside the box. This is no different. You just have to figure it out. And so I thought all the list growth coaches said, create a free lead magnet, put it out on social. I did that. I had 3 great lead magnets going. My list was growing, but it was not fast enough for me because I needed out of corporate America. And so I just really had to get strategic and ask myself, what other ways are there for me to grow my list and have more leads coming in? And so through that experience, I decided I'm going all in on Facebook. That was my platform of choice. It still is. I built my multi-6-figure business on this platform with all organic free strategies. No pay, because the paid ads were a fail, and I'm not going to try it again.
I wish I could say that this is a unique story that I haven't heard a lot. Like, we have to drive it into our clients' head. Like, please talk to us before you spend money on anything else, because we can probably do it better or tell you that you shouldn't do that yet.
Right.
And here's what's going to get you where you want to be. Like, and it's so true. Like, I've seen people where they come in, they barely have a funnel.
Yes.
Like a literal opt-in on a dead thank you page.
Yeah.
And they transfer in and they're like, I got this from this ads guy. We're going to run ads. And I'm like, I don't want to, speak ill of the people that you have already paid money to, but there is zero reason for you to be running an ad. There's no pixels. There's no Google tags. We don't have a flow. We don't have any upsells, downsells. Where's the list segmentation? Like, did you even have a content manager review your content and make sure we got our brand messaging dialed in, that this is the content that should have the ad? Yeah. Are we even on the right platform for this ad? Right. Like, because you could be marketing on Facebook, but if your target, because also Facebook groups, PS people, I don't care if your people are on TikTok, you send them to a Facebook group. Like, just you do. Yeah. And even people like these big names who teach on like these different platforms like school, the first step is start a Facebook group. Yeah. Gather your leads. Okay. Yeah. You start with that guy.
Yeah. So, and Facebook groups is a strategy I teach. So I have over 10 strategies in my arsenal. 6 of them, I think I counted the other day, 6 of them have to do with Facebook, because there's so many nooks and crannies of the platform. And just like you said, if you have your own Facebook group, you can set those membership entry questions up in a way that leads to list growth. It's easy to do, and you're still GDPR compliant. And then other people's Facebook groups, I teach as a strategy for massive visibility, even the ones that don't allow promotion of any kind. I have hundreds of people joining my free group every month. 85% of them I've never met, and I didn't invite. And when I go, hey, Colleen, how did we connect? And you go, I saw you over in the XYZ group, and I thought you were super helpful on that one question you answered for Susie Q. And then I clicked on your Facebook personal profile, and I saw the group, and I wanted to join. That's the kind of stuff I teach.
I love it. So what's your signature approach to building a marketing machine that works on autopilot?
Yeah, it's the strategies that I teach and layering them in the proper order. And that example that I just gave you is one of many. So when we set up our Facebook personal profile fully, what I mean by that is a picture of you, your real name, not a nickname, make it match, man. If somebody's looking for Tracy Beavers, I need to be Tracy Beavers everywhere. I don't need to be like TB or Beav's wife or something weird where they're like, is this the right girl? So photo that your eye
and not your cat. Your profile photo should not be of your cat or a cartoon. Maybe if it's like a custom like cartoon of you, but even then, not really.
I'm going to say no, because if I meet you in a virtual networking event and I'm not looking at your cartoon, and then I go to find you and I'm seeing a cartoon, I'm like, is this Colleen? I don't know. So anyway,
you're so right. It harkens back to a whole like my our new comms person. It's like you need to stop playing at the kids' table. I know you love your cartoons, yes, but we need you to sit at the grown-ups table now. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and I love my cartoons. Okay. And then you want to have I help statement. I help X do Y so they can Z. So it's very clear what you do, and the full menu of you. Every single link you have needs to be there front and center, make it easy on people to connect with you. But here's where the magic happens. Your cover photo needs to showcase something that leads to your email list, whether it's a lead magnet that somebody's going to want or your free Facebook group. And so when I'm visible in these other groups, people get curious about me. They're like, who is this gal that's answering these questions and cheering people on and just really just being a nice human being? That's all I'm doing. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm just going in to a community and being a nice person. They click on my Facebook personal profile. They go there and they see my cover photo. And by the way, I've got it set up. You can have a hot hyperlink in the description box. They slide right down my list growth funnel. So like right now, if somebody goes and looks at my personal profile, what they're going to see is my next workshop that I have coming up, but it grows my list when they want to sign up for it. Then when I'm not in promotion, it'll be my free Facebook group. And so it's the whole, that's how it happens automatically every day. So I get that set up, the personal profile. My Facebook business page also needs to be set up the same way. Then all I do is focus on being active in a community, being visible, and that happens automatically in the background. People are clicking on my profile and they're coming into my list and they're wanting to and I'm DMing them because they joined my group, and where it's this whole, it starts to happen automatically in the background. It's beautiful.
I love that. I love that. So, and I know one of the things with organic, a lot of people say like, oh, it's, so much work. You have to keep showing up online. So what would you say to someone who's struggling to show up consistently online?
Yeah. And so this is the topic of my next workshop I'm having August 6th, because consistency is key. Like, okay, so the way I'd like to describe it is we all want consistent monthly income. That's the goal. Well, if we're going to have that, we have to have list growth and DM conversations. If we're going to have that, to get the list growth and the DM conversations, you got to be visible. And to get visibility online, you have to have consistent content. So if you want the income, you got to have the consistent content. And when I say consistent content, a lot of people think I mean, Colleen, I want you to be on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Threads, and I want you to exhaust yourself 7 days a week. That is not what I'm saying. I want people to pick one platform, go all in on it, and decide what can you do each week consistently. Because when I was building alongside my full-time job, I had time for one regular piece of weekly content, which was going live every Thursday at 11:30. I did that for years, still do. And from that, everything else I needed for the week was born. social media, and this was before AI, social media posts, a blog, if I wanted one, was built off of that. The email to my list was built off of that. And so that's the way you stay consistent, is you develop a system that allows you to create one thing and repurpose it into everything else you need, and picking a day of the week to do it. My day is Friday. I create all that stuff in about 2 hours on a Friday, and I'm done. And I know it's ready to go. And I will not lose that momentum that you start to gain with the algorithm when you are showing up consistently. And so and also having your social media content lead to your email list, that's again how it starts to churn in the background. Again, focusing on consistent content, and the list growth and the leads start to happen because you're there, you're showing up.
And it just comes back to, you don't need paid ads to grow daily, just the right system. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
And I love that the list growth doesn't have to be exhausting, and that you've got a workshop coming up just for that. So you guys make sure that you check out her workshop. And before we go, it's my favorite question to ask. What is the one piece of advice you wish you had when you were just getting started?
I wish that somebody had told me that building an online business was not as easy as everybody made it look. Because I got into the online space and I was like, oh, hello, what language are y'all speaking? There was Lead Magnet, there was Funnel, there was Kajabi, there was, email service provider, landing page, sales page, registration, and I'm like tagging and automations. And I was just like, holy mackerel. And so I think it would have been helpful if somebody said, Tracy, yes, you're a highly educated woman and you're very successful, but this space is a little different and there's going to be a learning curve. And just say to yourself, I'm going to be okay with it, because tech is not my love language. I wish I had your brain, Colleen, because you rock the tech so good. There is a reserved parking space in heaven with your name on it because you love tech.
Oh, thanks.
People who love tech and numbers, reserve parking spaces in heaven. But if somebody had explained that to me, I wouldn't have been so hard on myself, because I was really like, why can't I get this? And then there, the crap talk starts. Okay, well, I'm an idiot. Okay, I don't have any business doing this business. So I wish somebody would have said, there's going to be some expenses. You're going to have to hire out some stuff, and it's going to be okay. Take it a step at a time.
I love that. So I know if you guys comment on this, for those of you who are watching us on Facebook land, or then we will get you the link to get registered for Tracy's training. For those of you on the YouTubes and the LinkedIn's, I'll be updating those posts to have those. And if you're listening to the podcast, the link is there for you to grab. You know what? We'll also have a cool training for Tracy to include, so that for those of you who are watching this after her workshop, you can still get in touch with her, because what Tracy teaches is super powerful. It is super duplicatable. Like, you can do this, right? You don't have to do, like, I've seen people do this from like no tech. They would just go live on their phone, and I'm like, who are you? What? No. And they can, and that's all you need to get started, right? Yeah. It's just, you need to show up and you need to be a good human, right? And that's going to create your visibility, and that's going to get your growth, right? List growth doesn't have to be exhausting. So if you are trying to find your list building lighthouse, go make sure that you connect with Tracy Beavers. And with that, we will see you later, nerds.